Carol Felsenthal wrote this biography of the late Phyllis Schlafly called The Sweetheart of the Silent Majority. Okay, here's some of the things that were said that are on the back of the that are on the back cover. Library Journal called it a timely, balanced biography, an absorbing study of leadership and power. Kirkus Review said, love her or hate her, readers will find the story of Phyllis Schlafly, liberated anti-women's liber, one of the small wonders of her time. Associated Press said, Felsenthal has meticulously researched her subject. She set out to be objective, and she succeeded. Kingfisher's Syndicate said, the media have not been particularly kind to Phyllis Schlafly. Carol Felsenthal has corrected this with a study of one of the most controversial yet unique and fascinating women of our time. The former president of the National Organization for Women, I believe it was Karen DeCrow. They don't give the name here, but I'm pretty sure it was Karen DeCrow. Said, everything you should raise your daughter to be. She's an extremely liberated woman. And she was. This is the woman who led the battle to defeat the Equal Rights Amendment that most of the women who called themselves feminists wanted. And the woman who led the fight to defeat it was probably one of the most liberated women in the country. Now, how could that be? Well, the book basically explains it. Okay, and one of the things about it is, people accused her of being a hypocrite. But the thing about that is, they actually proved her point, which is, she was able to, she wrote books and she ran for office, unsuccessfully, but she did run for office twice. She led a very active life. And she didn't need the Equal Rights Amendment to do those things. Okay, in fact, women began writing, I think a Japanese woman started writing way back in the 11th century. There was a Japanese woman who wrote something that might be considered the first novel. And in the late Middle Ages, women started writing and getting published. Jane Austen wrote Pride and Prejudice in 1800. So women have been writing and getting published for centuries. Okay, and they have been able to run for office for about a century or close to it. They didn't need an Equal Rights Amendment to do that. They've had the vote since 1920. And so actually, it didn't prove hypocrisy. It proved your point. We didn't need the Equal Rights Amendment to do those things. Okay. Anyway, the book goes into her life, her background, her marriage, her 6 children who became very famous as well. Phyllis Schlafly as a baby. Phyllis Schlafly and her one modeling gig, and then her marriage to famous Fred Schlafly, who was given a sweatshirt with the title Mr. Phyllis. He wore it. Okay. A long line of strong women, and here her with her mother and grandma, and her with her husband and kids. Her with her husband, her at the making breakfast. The Republican shindig. Both pictures of a Republican shindig. She was running for office. And then here's some of the Stop ERA things. And here's one of the funny ones where somebody's in a gorilla suit. But anyway, it is an interesting book. She was an interesting character. And hope you like hearing that. Bye.